Trayvon is gone. He will not be returning to us. Even in death, they are still disrespecting my son. And I feel that that's a shame.
The only comment that I have right now is that they've killed my son, and now they're trying to kill his reputation.
Really powerful words there from Trayvon Martin's parents defending their son before a meeting of Sanford City Commissioners. That city's police department is being blamed for leaking information that blames Trayvon, not the shooter George Zimmerman, for a life and death struggle that cut short the 17-year-old's life. As the outcry over their son's death grows, Martin's parents today will take their fight from the streets of Sanford to the steps of Capitol Hill. There, they are expected to attend a briefing on hate crimes, racial profiling, and states' stands your ground laws as well. House Speaker John Boehner weighing in on this case just moments ago.
Listen, our hearts go out to his family over this tragedy. And clearly what happened is, in fact, a tragedy. It's being investigated by state and federal officials, which I think is appropriate, and I think I'll leave it at that.
And Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who represents Martin's district, took to the House floor again today with her sign, which shows the number of days since Trayvon died. Congresswoman Wilson calling it the number of days a killer has been at large. Joining me this morning is Florida Congresswoman Corrine Brown, who will take part in today's House briefing. Congresswoman, as we talk about more of the news about what today's briefing is going to be coming up in a minute, I do want to start with what police reportedly told the Orlando Sentinel, that Trayvon threw the first punch in an altercation with Zimmerman, that he climbed on Zimmerman's back. He slammed Zimmerman's head into the sidewalk, leaving him bloody and battered. Congresswoman, why do you think that this is being put out there now?
Well, first of all, can you give me the name of who leaked this information? I spent about 3 hours with the police department in Sanford, and I was very, very disappointed with every aspect of the investigation. Every single aspect. And so I have asked that the federal government do an independent investigation on how they have handled it and whether or not the police department have participated in a cover-up. Because it was clear to me from the fact is you took someone's word, but you didn't do a lie detector test, you didn't do a drug test, you didn't do a test to find out whether or not that person had been drinking alcohol, you didn't secure the crime scene. I mean, clearly, you didn't secure the clothes. I mean, it is unbelievable how this has been handled. So we need independent people to come in and verify what has happened. And so I don't want to deal with that. I think it's probable cause to arrest the person, and then let's go to a trial, and clearly let's get everything on the table through an independent verification. What we have here today in Washington, we're going to review hate crimes and profiling of black males. And I've asked for this forum to be held here in Washington. But to tell me something about the Sanford Police Department when I feel that they personally have handled this the way they have handled other matters in this community, which is unacceptable. And we are asking for an independent review of how the Sanford Police Department have handled this. I can't say the same about the mayor. I think he's come up to the plate as far as we've had the 911 tapes released, and clearly they show a different side than what the police department have released and what the shooter have said as to what occurred. But let's get the facts on the table.
Congresswoman, obviously this is something that you're very passionate about and obviously very angry about in trying to seek justice and answers for Trayvon Martin and his family. And his parents, as I stated, are going to be on Capitol Hill today. Why was it important to bring them there? What do you hope to accomplish by having them speak out?
Well, we're looking at another aspect of it. We're looking at profiling and hate crimes. And the role that the Justice Department can play, because I'm very concerned that a lot of the evidence have been tainted when you look at it locally. For the fact is, I had a meeting, a 3-hour meeting with the police department and the mayor, and then when I walked outside, all of the reporters who released that I was in a private meeting at the time. who released this information to Orlando at this time, 1 month afterwards. You say it was the police. Who in the police department released the information? So clearly, I don't know whether we're involved in an official cover-up.
Right.
But regardless of what's going on, we need an independent, in which is the Justice Department, and there is a letter to the Justice Department signed by over 50 members of Congress asking them to look into this case.
Congresswoman Corrine Brown, we're going to let you get back to work. We know that briefing is coming up this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll look to see what news is made out of that.
3 to 5 today, yes.
Thank you for your time. Joining the discussion now with me is Mark Morial, President and CEO of the National Urban League. He joins me here in studio. Mark, I want to have everybody listen to Tracy Martin. That's Trayvon's father. What he had to say at yesterday's commission meeting. Listen to this.
Sanford Police Department, the city of Sanford, the government, the federal government, state, local, whatever entity it is, need to do something about it. And need to do something right now. Arrest needs to be made for George Michael Zimmerman.
You can understand the frustration that this family is feeling about this. I mean, the loss of their son and then the battle to seek answers and find justice for him. What happens, though, Mark, if April 10th the grand jury does not come back with something that's suitable for the family?
Well, I was there yesterday and got a chance to see Trayvon's mother and father speak, and I think we were both taken by the pain that this has caused for these two parents, the loss of their son. Right now, I believe it is so important for us to keep considerable light and heat, if you will, on the authorities in Florida to conduct a complete, full, and impartial investigation, which I'm confident should lead to charges. The truth is, George Zimmerman should have been arrested a month ago. That is the absolute truth. And if they were going to do the right thing, they would arrest him now because there's more than sufficient probable cause. But I'm disturbed, Thomas, by what appears to be a continuing effort by the Sanford Police Department through now a combination of leaks that are occurring. They are, in effect, demonstrating their own lack of competence in their conduct of this investigation. So it's good that the Justice Department is there, and it could very well be that the Justice Department may need to take a much more aggressive role in connection with this investigation at this time.
Active oversight of trying to manage this, because this is something that has really divided a community, and people do want answers, and the search for justice continues. A lot of people just baffled why George Zimmerman has not been arrested, and not to say charged, but at least arrested, so that the process starts, that it seems like some justice is happening. But there's also this coalition. It's important for people to understand. There's a coalition of people who are speaking out, of many backgrounds, many races, who see the injustice in this. And I would encourage people to listen to those tapes. Those tapes are the best evidence to give us an insight as to what happened on that night. And if George Zimmerman has nothing to hide, why not just surrender yourself and say, let me go to court, let the tapes play out, let everything play out, let all the witnesses come out of the woodwork on this one, and see what happens?
Well, he should have been arrested a month ago, and you're right. If he were being, I think, absolutely correct in this, he would surrender himself and then defend himself in court.
Mark Morial. Mark, great to have you.
Thanks
for your time. I appreciate it. Well,